Welcome to ATB-TV. I'm Darren Dance here with Peter Morganti at the Ballarat Turf Club. We're actually sitting in the stewards room, Peter.
Yeah.
I suspect there's been a few jockeys fined and suspended in this room.
We might be a little bit happier than what some of the jocks might have been when they've come in here, but I know one thing, Darren. It's probably the warmest place in Ballarat.
Well, they've got a really good heater in here. The photos on the wall, they're pretty old.
Back prior to when we were born.
Yeah, it looks like the 40s or something, doesn't it?
Might have been 1940.
I might show you that at the end of this. Look, 2 winners for the week.
Yeah,
better than what we've been going.
Yes.
Takes us up to 49.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel overall our horses have been just struggling the last 6 weeks, Peter. And talking to the trainers, you know, it's so wet here in Victoria at the moment and so cold. A lot of horses have got foot abscesses, they've got wither boils. The tracks are heavy. A lot of horses are got to go to the paddock.
A few of our younger ones.
Really struggling, and it's right across the state, you know, this weather. But look, we've been in a drought for a long time, and this is a real good old-fashioned winter. There was snow on the hills around Balan yesterday.
Even back home there was snow.
Yeah, so it makes it really tough to get these horses going. But the racing goes on, and the horses. Someone's got to win the race, but. You know, we thought we had some wet trackers and we found out, well, they're certainly not heavy tenors. Well, there is one there.
One there is, yeah.
Yeah, short espresso, but, you know, it's a really tough time.
Yeah.
And to get these young horses going and getting them ready for spring, it's a challenge for the trainers. And Ballarat, really lucky they got the synthetic track.
Yeah.
But even some of the guys who got our pre-trainers around the place are saying, look, we're going to need them an extra week because the track's been closed for 3 days. And it's just a really challenging time of the year. And anyway, look, I think in another month or 6 weeks, you know, it'll hopefully start to warm up a little bit and the days will get a little bit longer.
And a few of our younger ones hopefully can get through to the
track.
Well,
we've got some promising young horses coming through, and we've had some nice trialers, and I think next Tuesday, Burren Beat's going to tell us a lot with them. And, but let's go back to last week. I think we go all the way back to last Friday.
Yeah, a little bit warmer up at Ipswich, Darren, and warmth as in a winner as well. Red Handle, she was really good first up.
Yeah, congratulations to all the owners in Red Handle. You know, that was her first up run this prep. We had a little bit of a frustrating prep with her last time. We knew how good she was, but just through different circumstances, barriers and track bias, you know, she could only manage placings, and then she put in a poor one at the coast. But she's come back and showed us what she can do. She demolished that field the other day, and I know Tony Gollan's got big plans for her. So she'll go to Doomben at the end of July and contest the last 2-year-old cutest race of the year. And then he's got some plans for her to go to Sydney for the spring, so he must really like her. So
she certainly matured. I think even in the way she raced, she still had to do a little bit of work from 10, but she actually sat up and raced truly, like she wasn't one.
And Jimmy Byrne rode it great, and he actually said that she's still got a lot to learn.
Yeah,
you know,
she spun her wheels, but legs are too quick for her body or something.
Yeah, her brain was going faster than her body. So yeah, look, she's not a single dare filly. Got a lot of time for the breed. They're all genuine, they're all sound, they don't break down, touch wood. But it's great, and good on those guys. It's only our second winner with Tony Gollan from only basically, I think, 2 or 3 runners. So she looks like, you know, and with Cutest, she's up to 50 grand, and she's won a Friday race at Ipswich and 3 placings in town.
She nearly picked up 20 from a Friday at Ippy, so it's well worth the Cutest.
Yeah, it's a great system, and it goes
on. From there we went to Saturday, where another one of our interstarters ventured down south to Flemington, was Ware Shaw. He ran really well down the straight, Darren, I thought. Yeah,
Peter Snowden brought him down, and Peter was there Saturday at Flemington, and the horse ran 5th. He was doing his best work late, 1,200 metres, and like Peter said, it was a bit of a fact-finding mission. There was nothing available in Sydney for the horse until the end of the month, and Peter just wanted to bring him to Flemington, and he thought he'd be a good straight horse. And you know, the Snowdens trained at Flemington a long time for Darley. They know what they're doing. And he felt that he'd be he's a good chaser, and he lets down hard, and you know, he did run really well, and he was getting to the line strong. Look, we all know he needs 1,400, and that's where he'll go around in Sydney next start. I think it might be the same day Red Handle runs the 30th. He'll be in a 1,400 metre race up there at Randwick, and
awfully hard to beat.
If it's wet, gee, on that run he's going to be hard to beat. But he's a class horse, and like Peter said, he wouldn't be scared to bring him back to Flemington in the spring first up, or next year first up and running down the straight. He really does go good there. And he's, once again, not a singled out, very sound, very genuine horse.
Yeah. No, for a 5th place, and we certainly learned a few things with him. The next day I went to Warrnambool where Chloe Anna basically got bogged. Yeah, she's just struggling a little bit, but she's her own worst enemy at the moment. She's flying the lids and putting herself a bit close to the pace, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, look,
they ran 14 seconds outside the track record.
Yeah, well, it was heavy. Look, at the end of the day, she's a wet track stayer.
Yeah.
In my view, her best runs have been when she's been ridden cold and let finish off.
Yeah.
And this time she's been lobbing too close and being really weak late. I've spoken to the stable about, we need to try and snag her back and sort of get it back and then running on. I remember the day here at Ballarat, she came from last on the corner and flew home and ran 3rd. That's her pattern now. We've got the wet tracks. She's fit enough now to get out to the right distances. And I think we've just probably got to put someone on and get the instructions that settle her back and see if she can finish off. And if she can't do that in the next 2 or 3 runs, then maybe her racing days are limited.
Yeah, for sure. From there, that was Sunday. Tuesday, I went up to Ice Village, Matoa. I've never been colder in my life. We had horses in race 2 and race 9.
They made you suffer, didn't they?
I had about 8 cups of soup. Great hospitality up there in Matoa. And all things put into perspective, the amount of rain and all we had, they actually raced and it was safe. It was as heavy as, but got through the meeting. So well done to the club.
A heavy 10 at Matoa, and it's great that we can race. We need those tracks where we can race in the middle of winter on heavy 10s. We don't want to be going to synthetic all the time because a lot of horses don't go any good on it. So
prove the point. Short Espresso there, he won.
What a strong win! 5 lengths.
5 lengths, and to be fair, 500 was probably 5 off him. And Dean actually said he had to just push him to get him into his gear, but once he grabbed hold of the bit, you could see within 100 yards he was going to run over the top of them, and did.
Well, we were disappointed last start over 14. It was obviously didn't run out the 14 on the heavy, but getting back to the 1200 on the heavy, getting the cover, speed on, really worked well. And congratulations to all the owners. Certainly his race record looks a lot better now, but he's had, 16 odd starts and 2 wins in a lot of places.
Yeah, it'd be 10 odd placing, so.
But when you look and you say, 16 runs and 1 win, it looks poor, but he's a wet tracker, he's 1200 metre horse, he needs cover, he needs the speed on, and he can win a couple more while these tracks are wet if we place him right, and that's what needs to happen. And I think Yendall's very important.
Dean is key, for
very
sure.
important rider, Dean.
Strong rider, yeah. So that was good, but prior to that we also had a debutante in Himiji Joe. The track played favourable to leaders earlier in the day, but I think the plans were still to actually have her just settle where she's comfortable. There's another one, she pinged the lids, and unfortunately she left Dean in a bit of a predicament where he was sitting 3 and 4 wide. And she just got tired late on that very heavy track. No doubt she got through the track fine, but that's a big ask.
Well, once again, she's by Teofilo, she's out of a noted wet track family. That's why she's in it this time of year, and I thought her debut run was quite good to run 5th. Like you said, she flew the lids, she was caught wide, that wasn't the plan, but what could he do? You're there with a horse first up, you're trying to give it a good experience, it's going to be a little bit vulnerable in the last 100 because of fitness, that you can only get into him from racing. But he done what he had to do, he tried to keep her in rhythm, and I thought she was fair. The debut, I gave it a pass. And I'd think next start, once again on a heavy track, similar sort of distance. I know she's going to get out further, but she's probably a horse that can't win till she's 3rd or 4th up. When she's hard and fit and the tracks are wet, and she might get to 1500 metres, and she's a filly with a bit of ability.
Yeah, for sure. And probably a bigger track so she can just sort of settle back into a rhythm. So
no, happy with that.
Yep. Wednesday we had the Last Angel at Morpheville, and I think Damien's been fiddling around with the training pattern in terms of getting her back to midweek Wednesdays, and look, she didn't run that well, but
that definitely wasn't a pass mark.
No.
That was disappointing. What'd she run, 11th or something? Beaten a long way. The winner won by 5, fair enough, it's a good horse at McAvoy's. She's a limited filly that tries hard. Yeah, just got her around the wrong way a bit. First up, she was not fit enough for the run and tired badly, and then there was no race.
No.
Like we had to wait 6 weeks. So he threw her at Morphettville, dropped her back in distance, which is not ideal because we wanted to get that run into her. And look, really, she needs to do something in the next 2 runs. If we're right and we get her to 14 and 1600 in the next 2 runs on wet tracks, that's when there won't be any excuses. And you know, it's just unfortunate we had to drop back to that distance. But sometimes you have to do that to keep going with their program because there's not always the right race around. So
and they've had meetings abandoned.
Yeah, they've lost a lot of races. So look, I'm not giving up on her yet because I know she's genuine, and I'll be disappointed if she doesn't finish in the top 4 next time.
Yep. Same day we had 2 of Maddie Williams's at Moonee Valley. Both probably didn't have a real lot of luck. Royal Fantasy ran 6th in her 1,000 metre race. She sort of half did the start.
Well, she's always slow away.
Yeah,
I mean,
Dean wasn't concerned.
But I think she missed it 5 lengths.
Well, at least 2 or 3, a long way, and that meant
it looked a long way to me.
That meant he had to hunt her up, and she never probably really got into it.
Well, she's run 6th. The margin was what, 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So I think it was kind of lost at the start because she's given away a lot of ground on what turned out to be pretty much a leader's track all day. It was heavy. It was 1,000,
and up in class too.
Yeah, but you know, like I thought she ran okay. I don't think the Valley was ever going to suit it, but once again, you need to find a 1,000 metre race on a wet track, and they're not in the calendar every day. And you know, we knew she probably couldn't win there. We thought top 4 would be acceptable. She's missed the start and run 6th. Now we've just got to find a nice 1,000 metre track race somewhere, and with the right conditions, and with Dean on her again. It was certainly better than the effort of Bendigo, which was very disappointing. But maybe she doesn't handle the 9s and those bold 10s.
Real heavy tracks.
But back at the Valley, she ran okay, but probably not a back marker's track. But what else do you do? Leave her in the box for a month?
That's right. I think Maddie was torn with the idea of maybe just freshen her slightly because her best form over the last 2 preps has been early. But
well, mate, I wouldn't be freshening her because we're going to run out of wet tracks. I'd be pushing on. Not that I want to tell the trainer what to do, but I hope he's watching.
Lucky on barefoot. He was
put in a good run.
Really good.
His last 2 runs have been good. I mean, he got to the line really good at Bendigo the other day and a bottomless track. Wasn't beaten far and probably didn't have a lot of luck there. And once again, his form at the Valley's no good. He's had a lot of goes there. Never ran a place, or might have run 1 place. But yeah, he was probably hitting the line as good as anything else on the weekend.
He did.
Sorry, on Wednesday.
Young Mastiel got 8 meetings for dropping his hands.
Did he?
He may have ran 4th if he hadn't done
Really?
it. Yeah.
So do we send him an invoice?
I think
for the difference?
800 was the difference.
Okay.
Yeah, because the stewards highlighted there was an $800 difference.
Invoice in the mail.
There you go, Kyle. There's an expensive holiday.
So not a bad week.
Couple of winners.
Couple there that are sort of on their last chance, and there's a couple of winners there, and some are just work in progress.
We're sure lucky.
So not a bad week.
Yeah. Righto, upcoming runners, Darren. We've got Broadway first at Echuca. This is a meeting that was called off Monday, and relocate to Saturday.
Really good. First up, Broadway first. Johnny Allen takes the ride over 1200. Look, it's probably a touch short for the horse, but you know, he's probably better grade than this, and be nice to go there and just get a kill and then get back to the city. But I'm confident he'll run well.
Yeah, we've got some good weather coming up, so he'll probably be on a track around about a 6 or a 7, which would be great. Mildura, Monday, escaped the rain, blinkers on, D. Yendall on. He won on her 2nd start, so hopefully those couple of little changes might...
Well, she's racing for a career. She's been disappointing. She looked good in winning last prep, but this prep she's been disappointing. But look, obviously when she won, she was on the speed, and this time she's been bringing her back, and she doesn't chase. So good to see the blinkers going on. Good to see Yendall on. Mildura, it's pretty weak. You know, she needs to be just about winning there to persevere with.
Yeah, for sure. Tuesday, obviously, we know the acceptances to Monday. Tuesday, they'll be a bit later out with some songs, that 1600 metre.
Well, this is the race we've been waiting for with her. We had to drop her back to that 1400 the other day just to keep it ticking over. So now we get back to Pakenham and get her back to the mile, and really this is where she should be winning. You know, she's another filly that's getting to the end of her career, and she really needs to be winning this weight race to persevere with
She
her.
was very good there at her running.
2 starts ago she was very good, but you know, she's got to be able to hit the line and win. You know, she hasn't won in a while, and she's had a few issues, and Well, she had a lot of issues, but when she's right, she's a good filly. But this preparation is probably going to be a last.
When the fields are up, I'll flash up the rider, etc. for her. It's good to see a real smart mare of ours potentially back on Wednesday. My obsession.
I think all the owners would have had a big smile on their face today when Darren Weir said we're not going to bother going to Mildura, we're going to go straight to Sandown. So
for plenty of reasons, I reckon.
So I think that tells you something about how she's going, and she's another real good long road wet track horse. So interesting.
Yeah,
looking forward to Wednesday.
Her last start obviously was that Valley win when Harry Coffey nearly buggered her up on the home turn, but he squeezed her through.
I don't know if she's won first up. I don't know if she did or not. I can't remember. But she's a class wet track long row, and
interesting after the trial of Donald. Darren just said, "Oh, she's right to go to the races." So
no, she must be in good order.
Yeah, terrific. Look, just a few names I'll mention here. Firehouse Rock for Largo, they're Saturday week, so there's an 1800 open for Firehouse Rock.
Yep.
And if Farlago keeps improving after his
had a setback, had a bit of a temperature and missed that run last weekend. He wouldn't have beat that horse anyway. They won the final, the way it won. Master of Arts, wouldn't have beat it. But anyway, he gets to go around.
So there's a 2500 there, and
Rainy Media.
Yeah, I think he's Bendigo. This might be the Sunday,
right?
The day after.
But anyway,
we'll get to those next week. And like you said, Burrumbert, we've got probably going to have half a dozen or 8 trialling there.
Yeah, looking forward to going out.
Craftsman or
looking forward to going to Burrumbert Tuesday.
Do you know their race names?
Who?
Oh, those new ones. Paul Moore, what's he? Sarplan. The Master Craftsman is Artisano. It's very hard to jiggle them all together when they first come in.
You've got to get your head together.
Yeah, but they're all coming along good.
Yeah, those 2-year-olds are coming along really well. I mean, some are going Shinsaw, but some
Rockalicious, obviously, she was going to run, but they're just holding up on her a little bit to bring her.
Focus on the spring, Pete.
Target races for the spring, Darren, so that's a good sign.
Must be going all right. Anyway, we'll have a look at them on Tuesday at Burrumbert, so if you want to come out and stand by the 44-gallon drum with the logs in it, hope to shiver like us.
2 44-gallon drums.
That'll be good.
Competition winner was Adam Green again. Greeny, you're flogging all our hats. We're actually going to upgrade the hat to a shirt, mate, so you've probably done yourself.
I think he needs to start his own betting agency and get a commission. He's
40, I thought the 32s and 34s the week before, he actually won with about 44 points. Did 6 with us.
He probably doesn't work.
Obviously studies a lot.
Yeah, he's probably good at it.
Yeah, well done, Greeny, anyway.
Yeah, we'll send you out a shirt, mate. You've already got a hat. And look, earlier today, I had the pleasure to catch up with Michelle Payne, and this is what she had to say. Well, of course, here I am today at the Ballarat Racecourse with legendary Australian jockey Michelle Payne. Welcome to ATB.
Thank you.
I must say it's fantastic to see you today and looking so well.
Yeah, it's great. I've really improved a lot, and each week I'm improving, and I'm really happy to be back out riding the horses again.
Mate, it's really good to see you. We've had some fun over the years. Fantastic that you won the Melbourne Cup. I mean, just a dream come true and changed your life, no doubt. Just fantastic experience. But even from our perspective, I know a lot of our owners love you. You've had so much success on our horses. And, Rue Maple, you rode her a lot for us. I remember the day you won with Long Espresso down the straight at Flemington with just one of the best tactical rides I'd ever see. And then a lot of joy on Platelet. And then, of course, who could forget last spring in the lead up to the Melbourne Cup, when I got you into good form by getting you on La Passe.
Thanks very much for that. Yeah, we've obviously had some unbelievable success, and that's what racing's about. So can't be grateful enough for having the opportunity and having that success. It's been an amazing journey in the whole career through racing, and that's what you do it for, and it's great to reminisce over those times. Yeah,
and I know that Long Espresso and Rue Maple's owners will be watching, including Neville, who's a big fan. You might want to say, g'day, yeah, great. Tell us your Platelet, La Passe, what do you think of those horses now that you think back?
Oh, look, it's very hard to come across horses of that quality, and not only their quality, but their nature and their ability to want to win. That's very hard to sort of find in your career, and to come across so many of those with you and with Darren was, it's what it's all about. So definitely have fond memories of those horses, and especially little La Passe, how she would burst through at the end of those races in the springtime. That was amazing.
She was a wonderful mare, and of course she's retired now and about to be sold to stud. So it's sad that they all come to an end, but they give us a lot of joy over a long time.
Yeah, and not only that, there's just so much fun with all of the owners, the Platelet and the Passe, and with Joy with Neville, with L'Espresso. I've just been so lucky to be given the opportunities on those sort of horses.
I think I remember you and I exchanging a few texts back around August saying that I really respected you as a rider, as a tactician. Nothing's changed because you won the Melbourne Cup, but I really think at Flemington, I think you're probably one of the smartest riders at Flemington, the way you can get those horses to settle in and just wait till the right time and let them go bang, and if the horse is good enough, they certainly hit the line really well.
Yeah, well, I think that racing is about tactics and, knowing your horses and doing your homework and covering all bases, and I think that if you do that, then if your horse is good enough, you're in the position to win, and that's why I love racing, that's why I'm so passionate about it, and yeah, obviously you just need the opportunities on the horse good enough to be able to make that happen.
Do you remember anything about Melbourne Cup Day?
Oh yeah, it's a big blur, but something that I'll never forget. I could run you through that race every step of the way. It's just embedded into my brain, and that is what you ride for. That's what you get into racing for, is to compete at the top level. And even just to be out there on that day in that race was a dream come true in itself. But what happened after that was, unbelievable still to think that actually happened. And yeah, obviously just grateful and want to make the most of every other opportunity I come across.
Now, it's great to see you back riding track work and you're feeling better every week.
Yep, feeling great. Been working with a physio, and he's amazed at how my muscles have, improved from 1 week to the next, and even riding on the horses. Can't believe how much better I feel so quickly. So just grateful to be, on the mend and looking forward to getting back into racing.
Tell me about these plans for the future.
Well, I've had a lot of time to sort of plan retiring from riding. It's a big transition. You dedicate your life to being a jockey, and it's very hard to just give it away and walk away and do something else. So it's been a plan of mine for quite a few years now, is to get into the training, because I love racing, I love horses, I'm really passionate about it. And
you can't imagine life without being around horses, can you?
No way. Even if I wasn't training, I'd have a pony or something to muck around with. So I purchased a farm just next door to my dad's farm, which is next door to the uphill training track at Ballarat, and I've spent the last 2 years setting it up as an agistment farm, and now I've just put in place some plans to put in some stables, a trotting arena, a round yard and some jumps, and then on my dad's property next door we've got a dirt track which we've just got some new machinery to make sure it's done up properly, and then we've got the hill track in Ballarat beside it. So I think it's the perfect sort of setup for training, and I just think if you've got the right place set up and you're passionate about it, it's a winning recipe. So looking forward to giving it a go.
So there's a new rule, isn't there? Is it a dual licence for jockeys?
Yeah, it's coming out this August. So I've been filling out all the paperwork and applying for my licence this month. So hopefully in August we'll be ready to go when the licence comes in, and that just allows you to, if you want to ride your horses, you can in the race. You're obviously not allowed to race against them, which is absolutely fair enough. But I've been looking forward to this day for a few years now, and done as much as I can learning from other trainers. I've worked for Aidan O'Brien, Luca Kamani, many other trainers in Europe. Worked for obviously Darren Weir for a long time, Kieran Maher, Peter Moody, Gay Waterhouse. So I spent time with all of those trainers, sort of picking their brains and working out, there's no set rule to training, but I think it's it's sort of a bit of an intuition, which I believe I've got from spending so many years working with horses. And
well, I can remember when I had black hair, coming to Ballarat one day, and there was this little girl having a first start called Michelle Payne, and she was on Dad's horse, Paddy Payne's horse. And this is a true story. I was up in that bar up the top there with a few mates, including your dad and Colin Rees, who's been a great trainer in Ballarat for a long time. And I said, I bet you she wins this race, because Paddy had a habit of setting those horses up for his kids to win first up, I reckon. Anyway, I paid about $4.80 and home you went. You look like a little teddy bear on an elephant. Do you remember that day?
Clear as day. I could tell you from the time I was sitting in barriers, I was a pretty nervous little kid back then. But yeah, that obviously was a dream come true. Start to my career. But yeah, I just love the industry. I love horses. My dad's very keen to help me out, and
it'd probably give him a new lease of life now you've moved back home, and you'll be his project.
Yeah, absolutely, it has. He's got a good bounce in his step. So
will Stevie have to strap him all?
Well, he's on board. He's pretty excited to join the team. But yeah, I think having Dad's knowledge of being around horses for so many years.
Well, your whole family is involved in pretty much training or jockeying.
Yeah.
A lot of people probably don't know, but obviously Paddy Payne's been training for years and years. Andrew, Patrick, and then the girls have married in. Well, how many jockeys have the girls married?
Yeah, well,
Karen McAvoy is one of them,
and Brett Preble, Jason Patton. So yeah,
you don't go far from the stripping sheds, do you?
No, well,
the Payne family.
Pretty hard when you put your life into it. But, yeah, obviously there's so many people to talk about racing and get advice off, and I was just talking to Patrick about it last night and planning for the future, and obviously you need horses that can gallop. That's the main thing, and then
you get off to a good start.
Yeah, and the main thing is to have a horse that has the ability and keeping it happy, getting it in a good frame of mind, and I think having it set up where they're in beautiful big boxes and good lifestyle, it's such a massive bonus. So that for me is why I'm really keen to give it a go. And not only that, when you can ride your own horses and know how they're going, and I think that's just going to be such a bonus being able to do that. So I'll hopefully make the most of it while I can.
Well, I guess you're going to be looking for some owners.
Yeah, absolutely.
And some horses.
Yep, that's for sure. You're
going to be knocking on our door?
I'll be knocking on your door for sure. Hopefully we can, get something that's up and running and have some more success, not just being a jockey this time.
Yeah. Well, Michelle Payne, you're a champion. You're an inspiration to a lot of people in racing and outside of racing. And we want to wish you all the best in your career, whether it's riding or training. And I'm sure at some time we'll be part of it.
Thank you very much. Obviously, you can't do this, be successful in this industry without people supporting you. So I can't thank you enough for everything in the past, and hopefully I can keep repaying you in the future by doing a good job. So thank you very much.
Well done. Well, that was interesting, wasn't it? Isn't she a lovely girl?
Absolutely. She's just a...
It'd be great to have a horse with her.
Oh, hey? People want to jump in everywhere. Oh, yeah, look, I mean, Michelle's just... you talk about horse, a bit like we say Darren every year. They are the ultimate horse family, aren't they? Michelle's just the epitome of the whole lot of them. And,
maybe, who knows? But anyway, we'll wait and see if she gets a licence, and maybe that's an option going forward.
Yep.
Anyway, Pete, it's time to go. Looking to the week ahead, only 4 runners, and I tell you what, I reckon
we're both on the same one, won't we?
Broadway and First and My Obsession I'll be really looking forward to. Seismos can't be far away from running again.
No, because they pulled him out because of the
track was too hard.
Split hard track over there, so we'll chase that up. I'll find out anything else prior to this being put together, I'll pop it up. But
right. Well, until next week, I'm Darren Dance and here's Peter Morgani. Enjoy your week, and let's hope we can keep these winners rolling in. We're really trying to get to our 50.
One more.
I think we've only got 2 weeks to go, and we've only got 4 runners this week, so surely something can happen.
We'll find one.
We need to improve.